What happens when the love you thought was unbreakable starts to fade? This is a story about betrayal, loss, and the painful journey towards self-discovery. They seemed like the perfect couple, Sarah and Tom, together for 7 years, admired by everyone. But behind closed doors, cracks were forming. Sarah and Tom had been married for 7 years. They were the couple that everyone admired, a perfect match, it seemed. Sarah was a successful marketing executive, while Tom was a devoted school teacher. They had met in college, fallen deeply in love, and had built a life together that was the envy of their friends. Their relationship was filled with laughter, shared dreams, and a deep bond that they both believed was unbreakable. But as time passed, the pressures of their careers began to create a distance between them. Sarah's job required long hours and frequent travel, leaving Tom to manage more of the household responsibilities. He supported her ambitions, but quietly began to feel neglected. Their conversations became shorter, their intimacy waned, and the closeness they once shared started to fade. During one of Sarah's work trips, Tom reconnected with an old friend, Emily, who had recently moved back to town. Emily had always been a kind soul, someone who understood Tom's passion for teaching and his frustrations about the state of his marriage. What started as innocent conversations soon turned into deeper emotional exchanges. Emily provided the attention and understanding that Tom felt he was missing at home. One evening, after a particularly difficult day at work, Tom and Emily met for dinner. The night was filled with laughter and memories of their younger days, and Tom found himself opening up to Emily in ways he hadn't with Sarah in a long time. As the evening wore on, they ended up at Emily's apartment. What began as a comforting hug turned into something more. In that moment, Tom crossed a line he never thought he would. The affair continued in secret for several months. Tom was torn. He loved Sarah, but he couldn't deny the connection he felt with Emily. He justified his actions by convincing himself that Sarah had been the one who had distanced herself first. But deep down, the guilt weighed heavily on him. Eventually, Sarah began to notice the changes in Tom. He was more distant, often preoccupied, and his excuses for late nights and missed calls became less believable. One evening, while Tom was in the shower, Sarah noticed a message pop up on his phone. It was from Emily, and it was clear from the content that their relationship was far from innocent. Confronted with the evidence, Tom couldn't lie anymore. He confessed everything: his feelings of loneliness, the affair, and his deep regret. Sarah was devastated. The man she had trusted with her heart had betrayed her in the most painful way. The foundation of their marriage was shattered, and the future they had once planned together seemed irreparably broken. In the weeks that followed, Sarah wrestled with her emotions. She felt anger, sorrow, and a profound sense of loss. But amidst the turmoil, she also found a strength she didn't know she had. She realized that while Tom's actions had hurt her deeply, they had also exposed the cracks in their marriage that neither of them had been willing to face. Sarah decided to take time for herself, to heal and to figure out what she truly wanted. She and Tom separated, and though they tried counseling, the trust between them was too damaged to repair. They eventually divorced, parting ways with a mixture of sadness and relief. Years later, Sarah reflected on that difficult period in her life. The betrayal had been a catalyst for profound personal growth. She had learned to prioritize herself and to never lose sight of her own needs in a relationship. Tom, too, had to face the consequences of his actions and learn from his mistakes. He had lost someone he loved deeply, but the experience forced him to confront his own shortcomings and to grow from them. This story, while painful, serves as a reminder that cheating doesn't just break hearts. It forces people to confront their deepest fears, their vulnerabilities, and ultimately, their own capacity for resilience and change. This narrative illustrates how a betrayal of trust can profoundly impact those involved, leading to both the pain of loss and the potential for personal growth.